Alright, budget magic. Ooh. Mono green aggro and modern. This hand is a definite keeper. This is about as good as it gets for this deck. So I think we lead on Experiment 1. We're going to put a lot of power on the board in the early turns. Hope it's good enough. Expedition map. Alright. Well, I guess the plan is Strangleroot Geist. Puts our opponent to 16. Do they have Tron? Strangleroot Geist is nice because it's protection against Oblivion Stone. So even if they can wrath away our board with Oblivion Stone, the Geist will come back bigger, actually. I think the question is, well, do we play another one next turn, or do we play Avatar of the Resolute? Avatar's nice because it pumps up our Experiment one. Alright, our opponent just goes with Pyroclasm. We get the Strangleroot back. Dismember probably isn't going to be good. I think we're just going to go with Strangleroot, keep attacking. Puts our opponent to 11. We pretty much just need to kill them before they get Tron going. Drawing a land would go a long way in this quest. The good news is we get to hit them, unless they have another Pyroclasm or something, we get to hit them to 6 and then hit them to dead. So, alright, they have a Tron piece, so they're going to get Tron online the next turn. It's going to be close. Oh, they go with Oblivion Stone. Well, let's attack with both. Our opponent can crack Expedition Map, get the other Tron piece, and then fire off Oblivion Stone. But I think we need to play something, because if we don't, then they technically wouldn't have to crack Oblivion Stone. Or maybe they just naturally draw a Tron piece into Tron piece. One thing about this deck is it really can't afford to play Ghost Quarters because we have like double into triple green costs, and that kind of punishes us sometimes. Well, we attack with everything, make our opponent do it. They're going to crack their Expedition Map, sack their Oblivion Stone to wipe away the board. We'll get back Strangleroot Geist. We really gotta hope they don't have Ugin. I think we might be able to beat a Karn. We are not going to beat an Ugin. But if they had Ugin, they could have played it last turn. And that probably would have been ideal. So we get back our Strangleroot Geist, play Experiment 1, play Avatar of the Resolute. So we again present lethal. They need an Ugin or another Oblivion Stone, basically. Unless they're playing Wormcoil. If they're playing Wormcoil, then that works too. Alright, Karn isn't what we were worried about, but it might keep our opponent alive a turn. Yep. There's Eye of Ugin and Expedition Map. Land doesn't help us. So we take down Karn, hit our opponent to 4. Play Dryad Militant, play the Forest, ship the turn. Come on, no Pyroclasm, no Oblivion Stone. Karn doesn't do it. Ugin does do it. Our opponent has very few outs in this situation, but they do have outs in their deck. Another Grove. What's the follow-up? Chromatic Sphere. So we're going to go cycling, see if they can find something that matters. Sacks Chromatic Sphere, adds red. Do they draw into it? Ancient Stirrings. So I think it's basically Oblivion Stone they're looking for off Ancient Stirrings. And they're kind of taking a long time. You would assume if they found it. Actually, Oblivion Stone doesn't even do it, right? Yeah, they're 1 mana short from Oblivion Stone. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the 2 floating. Eye of Ugin doesn't tap for actual mana. So they're 1 mana short of playing and casting Oblivion Stone. Sweet. Well, we got there. This also does not feel like that good of a matchup. I think we got to bring in Pithing Needles for Oblivion Stone, potentially Ugin. We can take out Dismembers, and I think we'll bring in one Creeping Corrosion and run it like that. See if we can take down Tron. Got there in round one or game one. Can we win one more out of these next two? Let's just win this one, so we don't even have to deal with game three. That would be ideal. Can we keep this? 5 lands is like an infinite amount of lands. Strangleroot's good. Tusker's good. No, I don't think we can keep that. Alright, we'll try that. And I guess we keep another Militant. I think we got to be aggressive in this matchup to have much of a chance. Unfortunately, everything in our hand dies to Pyroclasm, which is not good. But we lead on Dryad Militant. Ancient Stirrings or Sylvan Scrying? Oh boy. Oh, Chromatic Star, alright. Well, that doesn't mean Autotron. Another Chromatic Star. They very well could have Tron, but they could not. Aspect of Hydra could be a way to steal a win. Play Avatar, attack with Dryad Militant. I know, technically the right thing to do is play it in your second main phase, but our opponent's tapped out. There's not really any way that playing it in our first main phase is going to matter there. Ugh, adding red likely means Pyroclasm, which is pretty bad for us. Yep. What's the follow-up? Another Urza's Mine. Now we kind of want to land. Alright, we got to land. Dryad Militant. Avatar the Resolute. We can't win next turn, but we could get in for a lot of damage if our creatures live. Ugh, if they have a second Pyroclasm, I'm going to cry. Alright, adds green, which means not likely to be Pyroclasm. Grove. Oh my lord. Well, that is probably good game. Dryad Militant. Double Pyroclasm is a lot to beat for this deck. Chromatic Star. Sacrificed, adds green. Another Urza's Mine. Spellskite, good blocker, shuts down all our pump spells. Yeah, winning here seems pretty unlikely. Our opponent didn't get the fast Tron, but double Pyroclasm is probably even better. There's the Sylvan Scrying. Now they have Tron. If they play a Karn or an Ugin, we're scooping. Especially with a Spellskite on the battlefield. Oblivion Stone, probably might as well scoop to that too. I mean, we won't scoop yet, but the odds of us winning this game are 1 in a million, somewhere in that range. This deck isn't going to beat 3 Wraths very often. And Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Yep, alright. Well then. Maybe we leave in a couple Dismembers, or a Dismember, on the off chance it hits a Spellskite. I guess Pithing Needle can hit a Spellskite too, if it comes down to it. At least we're on the play for game 3. And this hand's reasonable. Experiment 1 into Strangleroot is the kind of starts we want to see. Urza's Mine. And pass. Well, they must have a Tron in hand then. But we do get to attack for 4, which is good. Do they have Pyroclasm? Like always. Alright, there's Pyroclasm. Alright, can we draw land? Hoo-hoo, that's a land. Baloth or Tusker plus Dryad Militant? Well, let's attack. Technically, Tusker plus Dryad Militant is more power. So I think we're going to go with that. In theory, we could put our opponent to 1 next turn. Double Pyroclasm again. Good lord. That would have been lethal too. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we were so incredibly close. We would have beaten 1 Pyroclasm, but beating 2 isn't seeming likely. Ooh. Oh, if all our opponent has is Sylvan Scrying, then we might have a shot. Gets the power plant. Plays power plant. Oh, they have Spellskite! And Oblivion Stone. Dismember? Oh, well that was... man. This is a frustrating loss. Wow. Wow. We had Tron dead to rights, and they had the absolute, just like the perfect draws. Unimaginably good draws. By drawing double Pyroclasm, Oblivion Stone, and Spellskite 2 matches in a row. And an Ugin. Wow. Well, I have to say that we got a little unlucky on this one. For our opponent to have that combination of things 2 matches in a row is pretty unfortunate. And Worm Coil from the sideboard, most likely a one of. Part of the Nut Draw package against our deck. I don't think there's any way to win from here. They're going to go to 16. Jeez. Well, our opponent had to have about 5 of the perfect cards in a row, 2 games in a row, and they did. So there's not much you can do about that. Sometimes your opponent just runs it very well. So I think that last match against Tron, that hand, we were extremely favored to win. But it didn't work out that way. So that's how it goes.